Hey guys, it's David Telfer, Tim Peterson, Robot Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai. Basically today we're going to go over a Brabo variation. A lot of people like to do the Brabo from half guard, but the Brabo is available in a lot of different positions, also called the Darce choke. So the one we're going to go over today is when your opponent is turtled and you're facing him. So a lot of times the guy shoots in, you're going to end up in this position. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is try to get my weight on my opponent. Alright, I want to go ahead, I'm only going to have my toes on the ground. I want to have my weight down on him to limit his mobility. The next thing I'm going to go for is trying to take my arm that's a little bit deeper and get it underneath his arm here, through the armpit, all the way through. Now a lot of people shoot the Brabo or the Darce a little bit shallow. The important piece here is to get your ear to his back, like you're listening to his lungs in the back here, and that's going to give you the depth that you need. So we end up in this position, I've got my weight on him, I'm going to take my arm and shoot it all the way through. Now some people will go ahead and try to finish from here and swing under them and finish it like this. Now I don't like that variation because if I miss it, he's going to end up side mounting me. So instead, I'm going to get here, my weight on top of him, I'm going to shoot in, listening to his back, and instead of connecting with my own bicep, I'm going to grab the back of his neck. Once I've grabbed the back of his neck, he's a bit locked in here. Now depending on where this arm is, I'm either going to need to grab it to keep out this base, or if it's really close, sometimes I don't even have to worry about it. But let's go ahead, he's going to have his arm out, he's basing here, so I'm going to grab his elbow, and I'm going to drive him to the side. Right here. Once I've driven to the side, you see we're in a regular Brabo finishing position. Not the one from half guard, but the one from side mount. So I'm here, I'm pretty set up. Again, I'm going to shoot one more time. I'd always rather go deep than shallow with my Brabo. So I'm going to put my ear again to his side and shoot my arm even further through. Once I've done that, I'm going to line up on my bicep, and then I'm going to try to feel for his carotid artery. The important part in finishing a Brabo is lining up your sweet spot, which is right about here. It's about 2.5 inches from the bend in your wrist. I want to get this spot, one of the hardest parts of my bone, and it's a little bit sharper, lined up exactly with his carotid artery right here. Okay, so once I've shot through here, I'm going to go all the way through, and then typically you're going to need to back up a little bit, but I'd rather back up than be too shallow. So I'm going to back up until I feel that sweet spot. Ask your partner if you're on it. He's going to know. That way you can develop a sensitivity for that sweet spot being aligned with his carotid artery. Once you're lined up, it doesn't take a whole lot of force to finish, but you can go ahead, kick your legs back to keep your weight on him. I'm going to drive a little bit forward, but also down. I don't want to flatten him out here. It's hard to finish from there. But I do want to drive him back a little bit and down. The last part, you need to cut off his head. I'm going to come straight up and get the tap. Okay, this is a really important piece to the Brabo. If you attack the Brabo by pulling up on one side or the other, it's just going to glance off his carotid artery. What you need to do is go straight up, shrugging your shoulders, so this sweet spot cuts right into his carotid artery. So one more time from the top. He turtles. Very often be in this position, a guy shoots, you sprawl out, keep your weight on him. Immediately, I'm going to look to shoot my arm under. You can grab his head for a little balance here, keep him from moving as well. Shoot yourself under, listen to his back. Grab his neck here so he can't escape this. I'm going to grab his elbow, and then I'm going to drive him right to the side, here. Once I've got him to the side, I'm going to shoot again, pushing his head in. So I've shot through, grab my own bicep, feel for my sweet spot to line up with his carotid artery. Once you've got that, again, weight on top of him, drive into him a little bit, but also down so he doesn't flatten out, and then cut off the head. Okay? So basically, that's a variation when the guy ends up in turtle, and instead of trying to run around and take his back, or instead of trying to get a Brabo where you spin underneath him, you end up in a good position whether you finish it or not.